From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, August 16th, 2017. Silver is trading at $16.72 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,272 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 4.3 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $4,089. Antiwar.com reports Saudi Arabia's ongoing air war against Yemen continues to escalate as the most recent figures released on the matter show that the number of airstrikes carried out in the first half of 2016 have already exceeded the entire previous year by a fair amount. Indeed, the figures disclosed in a UN report and based on publicly available data on strikes shows that the monthly average for number of airstrikes against Yemeni territory is nearly triple the figures in 2016. Armed clashes on the ground are also more than double as frequent. The UN report does not explicitly assign blame for the airstrikes, though it's not really a secret that they are almost exclusively Saudi Arabian airstrikes. The only country outside the Saudi coalition hitting Yemen at all is the United States, which occasionally uses a drone to blow up a car. It is the soaring number of strikes which is behind what is also believed to be a soaring number of civilian deaths in the war, though exact figures on exactly how many have been killed overall are not available. Between airstrikes, the Saudi naval blockade, and a cholera epidemic made worse by an inability to import medicine, Yemen is in an incredibly dire crisis. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports accused Mexican drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman has requested that a New York federal court allow him to dismiss his public defender so he can hire a private attorney. The attorney Guzman wants to hire, Jeffrey Lichtman, previously represented the son of organized crime boss John Gotti. The U.S. government has frozen Guzman's known assets, alleging the funds were generated through illicit activity. U.S. District Judge Brian Cogan said Monday he would not pressure prosecutors from intervening in Guzman's attempts to pay for a private lawyer. Guzman was extradited to the United States from Mexico in January to face 17 criminal charges related to his reputed drug empire, including corruption, murder, conspiracy, drug trafficking, and money laundering. Cogan granted Guzman a meeting with one of his family members for Thursday to discuss how to pay for the private lawyer. The judge said Guzman must change attorneys quickly because he will not delay the start of the trial, scheduled for April. Lichtman told NBC News that it would be difficult for Guzman to pay his fee because the accused drug kingpin is locked down. Lichtman also said, "It's very difficult to be ready for an April trial date when we can't come into the case because he's not even able to meet with the family to arrange our fee. This is still America. The man deserves not only his choice of counsel, but also a fair trial." Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organization to show up in an emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare to the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com. Reuters reports, undeterred by violence over the planned removal of a Confederate statue in Charlottesville, Virginia, state and city leaders across various U.S. southern states said this week they would step up efforts to pull such monuments from public spaces. Maryland Governor Larry Hogan on Tuesday joined a growing list of officials seeking to remove statues as a national debate flared anew over whether monuments to Confederacy are symbols of hate or heritage. Hogan called for taking down a state house statue of U.S. Supreme Court Justice Roger B. Taney, who wrote the 1857 Dred Scott decision affirming slavery. Hogan said in a statement, "While we cannot hide from our history, nor should we, the time has come to make clear the difference between properly acknowledging our past and glorifying the darkest chapters of our history." Saturday's violence in Charlottesville, Virginia appears to have accelerated the drive to remove memorials, flags, and other reminders of the Confederate cause. Since then, mayors in Baltimore, Maryland, and Lexington, Kentucky said they would push ahead with plans to remove statues, while officials in Dallas, Memphis, and Jacksonville announced initiatives aimed at taking down Confederate monuments. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.